So the next question is from Stacy. The question is, I'm in Florida, currently own a handyman slash woman, so handy woman business, but the goal is to grow it into a remodeling company. Be a general contractor, residential. She's never worked for a general contractor, but she does have prior military experience.
First thing, thank you for your service. I'll speak on behalf of everybody, appreciate it. Absolutely, for sure. As far as your general contractor license, and I believe that was in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, there are 3 options in the state of Florida. You have your residential contractor license, which means you can build up to 1 story. You have your building contractor that goes to 2 stories, and you have your general contractor that is 3 stories and more. As far as your military experience, in most cases, you do get credit for that based on, depending on what you did in the military. There's also aspects of any sort of education. You can do a combination of education plus work experience. And then in that route, you may go more the qualifier route. I'd be more inclined to jump on a call with you and really walk you through that and get you set up. As far as growing your business down the road, based off of your previous experience, the scope of work you have experience in currently, you may not qualify for that GC license because you haven't done anything commercial or you haven't done buildings of that size. And so you may need to start off with that residential contractor license, keeping in mind that with that license, you aren't able to do more than 1 story. So it depends on how you want to scale your business. Now, people that do have that experience and they're like, oh, but right now I'm only doing 1 story. I'm not really interested in doing more for the next 5 or 10 years. Well, you have 2 options with that. Is if you're not going to do that for the next 5 or 10 years, well, then great. You can go for your residential contractor license right now and get that. It just means that 5-10 years down the road, it's not like you pay a fee and now you get to upgrade, or you get to take an abbreviated exam and now you get to upgrade. You have to go through the whole process again. So typically what I encourage people is, whether you plan on doing that currently now, if you have the experience that can get you a larger license that you plan on utilizing in the future, I would encourage people to do that right off the bat, as opposed to piecing it together. Now, if you got to piece it together, it's investment in your business and it's going to come back tenfold with dividends from being able to grow your business. So it's obviously at the end of the day always worth it, as opposed to working for somebody else long term. But yeah, so if you have the qualifications, I'd encourage you to go for the biggest one possible. If you don't have that experience, maybe like you said, some remodeling or repairs, but haven't done any builds, you'd probably start off with that residential contractor. And you might find that serves you well and you really serve that market and never need to upgrade. And in the state of Florida specifically, I can share with you the reason why I'm more inclined to encourage you to get the largest one you could is because in the state of Florida, it's the exact same books. And the only difference between the RC, BC, and GC is 15 questions and 30 questions. But you're going to have the same experience, if you will, as far as the books and whatnot. So I wouldn't want you to, if you're qualified for your BC or your GC, go in for your RC and like, oh, I'll do the rest later, when it's just a difference of 15 questions. I'd say, hey, just knock it out now so you don't have to go through it all again. So that would be my recommendation.
Perfect. Thanks, JD. And again, we will be sharing JD's contact information here at the end, and he will follow up with you guys after the webinar. So Stacy, I'm sure you guys will continue that conversation later on. So don't feel like we're rushing you through these answers. We want to give you value here, but definitely continue the conversation outside of the webinar.